came down to this. A play from the 1-yard line after a PI call had the Giants set up with no time left on the clock. Tyrod Taylor looking for Darren Waller in the back of the end zone, does not come down with it, and the Buffalo Bills come away with a 14-9 win over the New York Giants on Sunday Night Football. Welcome into Giants Postgame Live, presented by Moderna. My name is Madelyn Burke, alongside the Super Bowl champion Victor Cruz and the Super Bowl champion Amani, Toomer. Guys, we were sweating watching that last. It was so close, so close.
So close, such a close game. Came down to the very end. That's what you want. You want to put your team in an opportunity to win the football game at the end. Had the ball on the one, went for the play action pass to go over the top to Waller. Didn't come down with the football, but man, what a valiant effort from this football team. We showed some composure today. We showed some life, some competitive edge. Yeah. It's just a different brand of football that we saw today. And if we can put that on film and continue to do that moving forward, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I think this is the best complete game that this team has played. The offensive line played well. Tyrod Taylor played well, sprayed the ball around and allowed all the receivers to show what they can do. And it just seemed like like you said, a completely different offense. It was a lot more cohesive, a lot more. The run game complemented the pass game as well. Yeah. Saquon Barkley had some big plays. Breida was in there. It just seemed like a game. I mean, you got to remember, this team was down. The betting line was 15 points.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're double-digit underdogs. The fact that it was on the 1-yard line, no time left on, one play to win the game, it just came up a little bit short. But you got to be encouraged by the way this team is trending from last week to this week.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the run game. Of course, having Saquon Barkley back was hugely helpful. He missed the last 3 weeks with that ankle sprain, but he was in here getting work done right here. Saquon had 93 yards on the ground, including a 34-yard long run right here as we take a look at what Saquon was able to do.
And let's be clear, having him back changes the perspective of this game. That's also a difference maker for this game, Toom, is that like having our leader back, having the guy back in the backfield that we can depend on, that we know can make plays for us, that the team can rally behind, especially with Daniel Jones being out. Just a leader and anchor on this football team. He came to play today, coming off that ankle, showing that he's healthy, showing that he can make all the cuts and make all the cuts and make the plays to get this team in contention. And he was doing that for the majority of the evening.
Yeah, and Jalen Hyatt had a great. He had a great catch towards the end of that game on 4th down, I believe it was, to keep the drive going. I think he deserves a lot more opportunity because he's showing through the blocks that he had on that last play, and
4th down conversion later on.
Yeah, there's a lot that you see. There was one pass that he caught that was called back because of a penalty. But I think he has this big playability that I would like to see more of, and I think he deserves more of an opportunity to show what he can do, because those are the types of players we need. We need players that can change games and with the big play, because that's something that has been missing over this last drought of offense.
Yeah, we saw the offense getting some big plays off today. A lot of that also set up by the defense, once again winning the turnover battle. Speaking of the defense, Paul Dottino is down on the field with Micah McFadden. Let's send it out to Buffalo.
Mike, I know there's no medals for trying, but my God, the way you guys were gutsy tonight in terms of bringing this one down to the wire had to be a tough one.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, obviously a tough way to lose right there on the on the 1-yard line, but proud of the team. Proud of the way we fought. Just got to keep going.
To be able to hold Buffalo like you did in the first half, to keep this game incredibly close, an incredible defensive effort. What do you attribute it to?
Obviously, getting a couple takeaways early and putting our offense in good field position, and then obviously just our offense having good drives and extending them and keeping us on the bench for a while. I think that helps.
How much inspiration was Saquon Barkley being able to come into this game tonight?
A lot. I mean, I think we could all tell just his explosiveness and what he means to the team.
Do you think this game can still provide some kind of boost, even though it turned out to be an L?
Without a doubt. I mean, I think our team keeps the same mindset every week, and we'll continue to fight and just stay the course.
Micah, thanks for your time. Yep, thank you.
That sound from Micah McFadden is brought to you by your local Ford stores. Ford is proud to be the official truck of the New York Giants as we take a look at McFadden's numbers tonight on Sunday Night Football. 7 total tackles, 1 pass defense, an interception, and a fumble recovery for the second week in a row. The Giants winning the turnover battle. 2 takeaways to no interceptions, no turnovers. For the first 4 weeks of the season, the Giants were -8. The last 2 weeks, they've been +5 in the turnover differential, Victor.
Yeah, this is incredible. They did a great job of making some takeaways, making some opportunistic plays defensively, and putting themselves in position to get the offense the ball back and come down and have an opportunity to score. It's what you want out of your defense. Michael McFadden was just balling. It felt like he was all over the field today.
And Bobby Okereke with the assist on both.
Okereke on the assist on both. Also, Okereke was making tackles. He was putting his face on people. It was really just fun to watch on both sides of the ball today. I mean, offensively, they were getting the ball out of their hands quickly, complementing the run and the pass, like Toomer said earlier. Defensively, creating takeaways. This is the team that we've been wanting to see. You know what I mean? That can complement each other on both sides of the football, playing good on special teams, just putting a brand of football out there that we can be proud of, and I think today was the first step.
Yeah, I thought Xavier McKinney had some great open field tackles, something that we didn't, that the Giants didn't show early on. You know, the fact that they're in position and they're coming with their feet so that they bring these talented receivers to the ground is something that we didn't see throughout this entire season, especially last week versus the Dolphins. So now it's a progression. You know, we're moving on and getting better, and it's just like you said, it's just a better brand of football, one that is more palatable to watch.
100%.
Yeah, you want to see things trending in a positive direction, and that is a positive takeaway, even though it is tough to see a loss like this when they were so close, 14-9, falling to the Bills on Sunday Night Football. But we've got more to come here on Giants Postgame Live. But first, a reminder that guests of our postgame show received a gift certificate to Ben & Jack's, located on 44th Street in Manhattan. From the celebrated porterhouse to finer seafood, Ben & Jack's will surpass your expectations of what a steakhouse should be. Coming up after the break, we're going to hear from head coach Brian Daboll. That and much more here on Giants Postgame Live, presented by Moderna. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. It's Giants Postgame Live. Time now for the Citizens scoring drive of the game, brought to you by Citizens, the official bank of the New York Giants. Citizens is made ready for Giants fans. For the drive of the game, we take you to the fourth quarter. First down, Saquon Barkley takes the handoff, runs it for 19 yards. Very next play, right back to 26, runs it again for 34 yards, breaks off 53 yards on 2 consecutive plays. This one sets up the Giants for a 29-yard Graham Gano field goal attempt that puts the Giants up 9-7 in the fourth quarter. They take the points. The scoring drive of the game, of course, brought to you by Citizens, made ready for Giants fans. 9 plays, 79 yards, took 4 minutes and 19 seconds off the clock. Gave the Giants a lead, of course, in that fourth quarter. Welcome back to the show. Madelyn, Burke, Victor, Cruz, and Amani, Toomer. And guys, one of the big significant storylines of this game is, of course, Tyrod Taylor starting at quarterback. Daniel Jones dealing with that neck injury, so Tyrod Taylor gets to start in Buffalo, too, in a place that he's very familiar. You know, 43 of his 53 career starts were with the Bills. He was out there, though, sending the ball down the field, Victor.
He played great today, just finding the guys, getting the ball out of his hands quickly, making quick, smart, decisive decisions with the football, and then making the plays, getting the ball downfield when he needed to, putting his guys out there, giving them opportunities to make big plays down the field. Jalen Hyatt, obviously, a guy that I feel like should get some more playing time. I feel like he brings some juice and some energy that we could use offensively. But he just played a clean game. No turnovers. Had the one fumble that he recovered that he just dropped, you know, just in the backfield handling the football, but was able to recover that one. But just played a clean veteran game of a guy filling in for a starter.
Absolutely. And as a veteran, though, you know, one of the plays that I think is going to stand out for this one is at the end of the first half, Amani. The Giants are at the 1-yard line with 14 seconds left in the half. Looking to score. They're up 6-0 on Buffalo. They hand the ball off to Saquon Barkley. The defense kind of takes their time getting up. The clock runs out, and the Giants are walking off the field into the half without getting the score there. This is a tough moment for a veteran quarterback who, you know, the clock management there. What happened on that play?
Well, I just felt like he felt like he had more time than actually what the 14 seconds was. You know that if you get tackled and don't score the touchdown, the clock will remain running if you're running the football. Even if you throw the football and it gets tackled in bounds, you can't have these types of mistakes. You have to know and be situationally aware. I think Tyrod would want that back. But you got to remember, he hasn't played a lot of football over the last couple of years, so this is his first kind of, you know, you go through practice, it's one thing, But when you're actually in the game and there's actually real competition, sometimes you get caught up a little bit. No excuse. It was a mistake that cost them throughout the rest of the game. And just think about the momentum swing that could have possibly been if they would have scored right at half and then got the ball back right to start the third quarter. That could have been a very, very big momentum swing because at that time, the Buffalo Bills were very flat. They didn't score the entire first quarter. The defense did a great job. So one of these times, we got to. The Giants have to ride the momentum when they have the momentum in their favor. They gave a lot back when they made that mistake on the goal line.
Yeah, they were still able to go into the locker room at half up 6-0. The first time the Bills had been shut out in the first half since 2019. So a solid accomplishment there on the defensive front. But of course, you're going to look back at that and say, oh, we left some points on the board there. All right, we've got more to come here. We're going to take a quick time out here on Giants Postgame Live, presented by Moderna. After the break, we're hearing from head coach Brian Daboll. That and more to come on the show. Stay with us. Hey, Giants fans, subscribe to the Giants Podcast Network for a variety of team podcasts featuring conversations with Giants players, coaches, fans, and legends. Plus, NFL analysts, business professionals, influencers, and more. Available on Apple, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, and Google. It's the Giants Podcast Network with a variety of shows. Welcome back to Giants Postgame Live, presented by Moderna. The Giants fell to the Buffalo Bills 14-9 on Sunday Night Football. Let's send it out to Buffalo, where head coach Brian Daboll is addressing the media.
How we doing, guys? What do we got?
Ron, what happened at the end of the first half?
Had a play called. It was a run action pass play, and ended up alerting it to a run. Didn't get it off.
Coach, you were able to neutralize some things out of this Buffalo Bills team. I mean, you guys dealt with a lot of injuries. How proud of you with the way the guys fought and battled out there today?
Yeah, I mean, you don't get trophies for trying. So, I appreciate their efforts. We moved some O-line guys around. We practiced some of it like that just in case it would happen. We had to put Pugh out at tackle. He hasn't played tackle since 2019. We had to move Glowinski back over, McKeithen. But, that's the National Football League. So, came down to 1 yard and just missed it. Didn't get it.
In the first half, did you communicate with Tyrod that
you
couldn't run the ball in that moment?
Yeah, there was good communication. Yep.
Why did it happen?
He saw a look based on the play that we had, and he ended up alerting it.
Ended up what?
Ended up alerting it to a run.
You wish you would have saved some of your timeouts or one of your timeouts for that moment, or why were you using them running the ball leading up to that?
Yeah, no, that was that's what we decided to do. You always like to hold timeouts, but didn't work out.
Did you have a good look at the last play? I mean, there was some thought that he was held on that last play. What was it called?
Did you think about running the ball in the last play?
And there was some discussion, but we had been stopped on 2 3rd-and-1s. We had been stopped on the goal line at the end of the half. So I thought it was a good call by Mike.
I know you had the one time you did that, the push, and it didn't work. But you had success with that in the past. Why not use that in that moment? What was your thinking?
Yeah, I thought we had the right play called. Kafka, I thought, had a good play and just didn't hit on it. Well, I was using it was a run action pass, so it was a similar run, different personnel groups, double team run where we're hoping they would all suck up on Saquon and give a one-on-one to Darren Waller.
You know well as anybody how good Josh Allen is to hold him to 14 points.
Yeah.
What do you leave here thinking about?
Yeah, we didn't get the job done, so I thought we had a good plan defensively. It was a lot of preparation, a lot of good communication throughout the week of how we wanted to play him, and I thought we played him. Well, and he made a heck of a play there. On a scramble. Came down to a yard. There's obviously a few more plays obviously in there, but I thought the guys battled. Tough environment, great atmosphere. Just came up a yard short.
Diggs, if Saquon wanted a chance to get that one in, would you understand that?
Yeah, sure. But again, we got stopped on 2 3rd-and-1s, and we got stopped at the end of the half. So I think the play call that Mike had was the right play call.
Do you feel the positives of this game, or do you not buy into that as well?
Yeah, it's hard to. You know, it was a competitive game, Pat. I thought we competed hard. Obviously, you always like a few plays back. But it's a tough one. They're all tough. They're all tough. You put a lot into it. But this is a hell of a football team that we played in a great environment, a tough place to play. And, 60 minutes, there's 0 time on the clock. Yeah, it's a tough one.
How much did the familiarity, that you have with these guys on the opposite locker room as far as the personnel play a little bit toward that advantage?
Yeah, I mean, they know our calls, but, there was definitely communication throughout the week relative to the offense, and I thought Wink put together a really good plan. The defensive staff, we talked a lot. I thought the look team gave him good looks, and they made, he's a tough guy to defend. And he made a couple plays there at the end, and we were close on. And again, it came down to they got a good defense. They're a good football team. That's why they've won their division for so many years. And we competed. I thought we competed hard, right down obviously till the end. And we had a jump ball there to try to win it.
What did you see from this team tonight that maybe you haven't seen in the opening game?
Yeah, I think it's hard to say, Charlotte, because we didn't get the job done in terms of finishing and getting the win. But they've had the right mindset. We've done a good job of taking care of the ball. We've done a good job of getting the ball. We're making small strides, but we don't really want to hear about small strides. We want to get the results, and that's what we're going to work for. So, competitive game against a really tough opponent. Good on 3rd down. They were good on 3rd down. That was pretty even, but they were 2 of 2, I think, 2 of 2 in the red zone, and we got it down there 4 times, and we didn't put it in. So that's really the difference in the game was the ability to punch it in the red zone.
What'd you make of Tyrod's play? He seems to thrive in a little bit of that chaos.
Yeah, I thought he had a really good week of preparation. He's a pro. I'm glad we have him. I thought he did a heck of a job tonight. Thought he did a heck of a job.
You mentioned not getting in from the red zone. You're now 3+ games without scoring an offensive touchdown. How do you even make sense of that at this point?
Yeah, I'm just focused on tonight here, Jordan, and disappointed we didn't finish it.
Coach, I know you wanted to come back home and still want, being back home, but the way you guys played, how do you build from this?
Yeah, thanks, Luke. Appreciate that. You got a division game coming up, so again, this is a tough one. They're all tough when you don't get the results you want. But the guys have had the right mindset, come back ready to work. Put this one behind us. But it's a tough one. Yeah. But I appreciate you, Mook.
Okay, 2 more. You shut them out in the first half. That offense holding to 0 points. What was your game plan, and how did you guys kind of slow them down there?
Well, again, I'd say we had, there was a lot of conversations, a lot of practice during the week. I always think their familiarity does help a little bit when you're, whether it's the scheme or the players, but ultimately the players have to go out there and execute, and I thought our players executed. So when you execute, usually good things happen, and when you don't, you don't.
Ryan,
so.
I guess Saquon was not on any kind of real severe pitch count, was he?
Yeah, he was good to go. I mean, we didn't have much going in the running game there for a while. It was tough sledding. It wasn't very many yards. I was on a lot of carries, but stayed with it, which I think is important relative to our team. And, he broke out a couple long ones there that helped us.
Okay. All right, Tyrod.
Good. Appreciate you guys. Good seeing you, brother. Good feedback.
That was head coach Brian Daboll after the Giants fell to the Bills 14-9 on Sunday Night Football. And, lots to be said about this game, but it all really came down to that final play as well. As we take a look at this last play, of course, the Giants are at the 1-yard line after a pass interference call. And this right here, Taron Johnson looks like he's got a little jersey on there.
A handful of jersey, doesn't get called. They just called the pass interference on the play before this as well, so I think the Buffalo defense is probably banking on the ref not making that call again back-to-back and just trying his luck. But, I mean, that's pretty egregious, Toomer, yeah?
Yeah, and usually when the defender isn't turning his head, looking back, trying to make a play at the ball, when you're just playing your man, usually that's a telltale sign of a flag, of a penalty. But there was just a penalty on the first play, the play prior, to extend the game. Usually referees want to kind of stay out of it, but still, usually if the penalty warrants a flag, then a flag should be out there. Agreed. But if you look at what the Giants did in terms of what they were doing, penalties, the Giants had 9 penalties for 65 yards. A lot of areas where they need to be improved. That was one of them. Cut down on the penalties, but we played very close to the vest football, no turnovers. And this reminds me of what the team looked like last year that went on and won that playoff game, not making the crucial mistakes and really taking advantage of every mistake that the other opposing team gives you in terms of the interceptions that the Buffalo Bills had this week.
I mean, if you would have told me coming into this game that we would win time of possession, win the turnover battle, have more total yards, you'd be like, we won this game.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
If I told you that, you'd be like, we won this game.
Yeah.
So it literally came down to 4 times we got into the red zone and came up empty.
Absolutely.
Well, we got in 5 because that last one.
5.
That last one.
Technically, because that last one, Terrell Bernard called for the DPI that put them at that 1-yard line with no time left on the clock, and they just went there, and the refs aren't just going to keep throwing the flag time in, time out. Tough way to lose the game, especially with ending the half and the game at the 1-yard line. But the Giants fall to the Bills 14-9 on Sunday Night Football. We got more show to come, though. Stay with us after the break. Make sure to remember, though, the Giants fans, to check out the Coach Daboll Show presented by Ford. We'll look back on today's game and take a look at next week's matchup. It's the Coach Daboll Show, airing every week on MSG Networks and on the Giants YouTube channel. After the break, we'll continue to hear from Giants players out in Buffalo and recap this one on Giants Postgame Live. Hey, Giants fans, don't miss the first legacy game of 2023 at MetLife Stadium Sunday, October 22nd against the Commanders. The first 25,000 fans in attendance will receive an exclusive collectible pennant jersey of Quest. The team will wear their throwback uniforms, and the field and game day entertainment will be themed from the 80s and 90s era. Limited tickets are available. Visit giants.com/tickets to secure your seat today. Welcome back to the show. It's Giants Postgame Live presented by Moderna. Giants, of course, fell in a tough one to the Bills 14-9. Last play, Darren Waller just didn't come down with it after a potential tug on his jersey. But let's send it down to Paul Dottino, who is with Darren Waller in the locker room.
Aaron, can you take us through the last 2 plays, one which was called interference and then one that was not, to end the ball game?
Just trying to get open over the middle field, get open between the hashes, got a PI. The second one, just, it was like a play off of the one that got stopped before the half and trying to get one over the top and just didn't make it happen.
How much contact was there on the final play?
There was contact, but I'm not somebody that's going to get into what a call should have been or how to tell officials how to do their job, because there's a way for me to make that play there and it wasn't made, so that's something that's what I focus on.
Okay, offensively, 3 times you guys got inside the 15 and only got 2 total field goals out of it. The frustration there has to be hard, because obviously that would have made the difference in the game.
Yeah, man, we're fiending for a red zone touchdown. You know what I'm saying? Like, guys are preparing hard. Guys are hungry for it. We're practicing, putting the emphasis on it. But it's just something that's not happening for us right now. But we just gotta keep working.
How much did Barkley's return kind of spark this team?
Oh, big time, man. That dude is lion-hearted. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can tell, like, just the way he speaks, the way he carries himself, his energy brings a lot of guys play up to a new level. just by being around him, and he definitely makes a huge difference.
So that play is drawn up for you, right? It's not like a progression or anything, right? It's coming to you. You know that?
It's drawn up for a different situation, but it's a play just to get a ball up back line, and it's just a play that's got to be made.
Have you had a chance to take a look at the replay of it, either on the big board or on your phone or anything?
No, I haven't seen it.
Did it feel like there was contact there? I know you said you're not going to lobby for a penalty, but just walk you through how abnormally felt the contact maybe was. I don't know. Was it?
No, I mean, it's physical play. I mean, guys are playing physical all night. Like I said, I haven't seen the play, nor am I going to resort right to something's a flag before I even see. I try to see it from an objective lens.
Playing these guys tough.
Darren Waller coming away with 5 receptions on 7 targets for 42 yards, a long of 20. And of course, that tough play, that a lot of questions about it. What did it feel like? At the end of the day, it just didn't come down with it, and the Giants did not get the win, Victor.
Yeah, I think he's just, as a competitor, you just want to come down with that play at all costs. I think he understands that 9 times out of 10, he can come down with that football and make that big play for this football team, but it just didn't happen today. And I think in the heat of the battle, he doesn't even know he's being pulled. It's happening so fast. He's just trying to make a play on the ball. He's not really realizing just how badly he's probably being tugged. And out of those 5 catches, I mean, he made some big, timely catches today. I think 3 or 4 of those catches were on 3rd down to continue to keep our drive alive. So Darren Waller has been playing some inspired football for us these past couple of weeks, and we just need him to continue to play at that level. But in terms of the last play, I don't think he understood just how bad he was being tugged, because his competitive juices are going, and he's trying to jump and make a play at the last play of the game.
Yeah, and these are the types of plays that the Giants brought him into too. He was there, didn't make the play, and didn't make an excuse. So that to me gives him a little kudos for me. But also, the pass interference. There was a couple penalties that he drew that gave the Giants an opportunity to win. Yeah. So I feel like I think he's on the upward trend. He's been playing a lot better because he came in with a hamstring injury, and now he's finally starting to show the spark that I remember seeing him in training camp. I'm like, this guy's going to be all pro this year. The hamstring injury slowed him down a little bit. Now he's kind of coming back, and I think with him, along with Tyrod Taylor, getting the ball out of his hand so much quicker than Daniel Jones, I think. Hopefully we want Daniel Jones back as soon as possible, but I think Daniel Jones can learn from Tyrod Taylor getting the ball out, not getting sacked as much. And I don't know, maybe he did something with the protections, but it just looked like a different brand of football, the way the ball comes out really quickly, decisive. And I think it just makes everybody on that offense just feel calm about knowing that if they get open, the ball is going to be coming.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We need to take this game plan on the road. Like, I like this game plan, whether it's Daniel Jones or Tyrod, whoever's in there ready to play, like getting the ball out of the quarterback's hands fast, getting it to the playmakers and letting them do the hard stuff. That's a recipe for success.
And it puts you in a position to succeed, in a position to be able to win a game. And not only did the offensive side of the ball do that, the defense did as well. Of course, we talked about this, winning the takeaway battle, winning the turnover battle. One of the defensive players is talking to Paul Dottino in the locker room. Now let's send it down and hear from Dane Belton.
Frustrating Josh Allen in the first half because you guys seemed to have him a little bit off kilter.
Yeah, just giving different looks, It really was. We didn't do anything crazy, We played some man, played some zone, but it was just flying around, executing, getting the right spot that you needed to be and doing your job. So I feel like we just were flying around doing that, and it worked.
It looks like this is more of the Giants' defense that we expected to see. You guys are starting to pull it out now. Do you agree with that, and what has made that happen?
Yeah, definitely. We're only going to get better. It's really just about bonding together, getting together, watching film together, and talking through things and being on the same page and, just bonding and playing as one.
Final thought, Stephon Diggs, he's just a real nasty guy to cover, obviously. They just kept feeding him and feeding him. His chemistry with Josh Allen just makes it almost impossible to cover him, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's a great player. Josh Allen's a great player. So anytime you have a duo like that, it's hard to defend for 4 quarters. And, that's what the NFL is. Every week you're going to play guys like that, and it's what you love to do, love the competition. So, they ended up winning this one, but, it was a good game. And like I said, we're going to come back next weekend even harder.
Dane, thanks very much.
That was Dane Belton with our Paul Dottino in the locker room after the Giants lost to the Bills 14-9. After the break, though, we've got much more to come. We'll hear from Tyrod Taylor, Saquon Barkley, and more here on Giants Postgame Live, presented by Moderna. And don't forget, stay up to date with the latest COVID-19 vaccines because you've got no time for 19. It's Giants Postgame Live, presented by Moderna. Stay with us. We've got more to come after this quick break. Welcome back to Giants Postgame Live. Time now for the HCL Player of the Game, presented by HCL Tech, supercharging progress, the official digital transformation partner of the New York Giants. For the Player of the Game today, it was Bobby Okereke, very active defensively right here. As you can see, he comes up, punches the ball out, and it's Micah McFadden who lands on top of it. The Giants' first turnover of the game, as Gabe Davis couldn't hold on to it as he was brought down by Okereke. And then, of course, later on in the game, Josh Allen drops back to pass. Okereke, again, all over with the coverage right here, gets a hand on it, defends the pass. Won't happen there. Bobby Okereke, the HCL Tech Player of the Game, 8 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 2 pass defense, 1 forced fumble. Very active player here as the Giants fell to the Bills on Sunday Night Football. Welcome back to the show. It's Giants Postgame Live. And with Daniel Jones out with a neck injury, it was Tyrod Taylor who got the start at quarterback. Tyrod is at the podium in Buffalo. Let's send it out.
Disappointed. I mean, obviously, the goal is always to win. We came up short of that today. So, yeah, disappointed.
Tyrod, could you explain what happened at the end of the first half?
Yeah, it was a decision. Looking back on it, definitely shouldn't have made. Alerted to a run. Thought I seen a look that was beneficial for us, and it wasn't the right call. And that falls on me as a quarterback, as a leader, as the one that's communicating everything to everyone. Got to be better in that situation.
Did you think you would have time to spike it? It already worked.
Yeah, I did. But yeah, ultimately, should have just left the play on. Shouldn't have alerted it.
Do you think with the young guys at the offensive line, with a new group or some new guys in there, that everybody didn't realize that you had to spike it after the run, after that run play?
Yeah, I don't know if that's. I don't think if a age or the amount of years of the guys that were up there playing their butts off today mattered in that situation. I think to give ourselves a better chance in that situation, the original play should have been left on, and I don't think we're here talking about it right now.
What the original play being what?
It was a pass play.
Pass play to anybody in particular?
No, there's always, multiple guys out in routes. It wasn't to anyone in particular in that situation.
How about in the very last play of the game? Talk about that.
Yeah, I think it was a good call. Give one of our better playmakers a chance to make a play, and we didn't execute it as well as we should have. They made a great play. Hats off to them.
There was some thought on the broadcast that you should have got another play after that should have been interference in you.
Yeah, I never get into what calls should be made or what shouldn't be made. It's our job to go out there and play. There are going to be calls that aren't called throughout the game. But, yeah, it's tough to go out on that one, especially when we did as much to get down there in that situation. We'd like to come out with the win in that.
Was his inability to maybe disengage? You want to throw a jump ball, right? You want to throw it up.
For sure. But if you're saying he was not able to disengage, then I think you're answering your own question.
Did you think when you let the ball go that he has a chance there?
I think in that situation, we always talk about on the back end of the line to give guys a higher ball, give them a chance to jump. Could have been a better ball. Yeah, like I said, we tried to give one of our best playmakers the opportunity to make a play in that situation, and we didn't execute, and it starts with me.
What was it like out there? You guys have had so many different offensive line combinations. Obviously, this is the first time.
The pocket was calm. Obviously those guys have done a great job. When I say those guys, speaking of Buffalo, they've done a great job of creating pressure all year, ranking high in sacks and just creating turnovers. But I think the offensive line done a great job of battling today. Regardless who was out there. I know we had an injury with Azidu. Hopefully he's okay and it's not serious. But those guys done a great job of battling, play in and play out all week all day against a very good front. Hats off to them. They were a main reason why we were able to put ourselves in a position at the end to possibly win.
Tyrod,
That was Giants quarterback Tyrod Taylor getting his first start as a member of the New York Football Giants, the 5th different team that Taylor has started a game for in his career. Passing for 200 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, rushing for an additional 24 yards on 5 rushing attempts tonight in Buffalo as Giants fell to the Bills. But Giants fans, subscribe to text alerts for breaking news, ticket offers, game day updates, and more. Just scan the QR code on the screen or text 201-636-1569 to subscribe. Stay with us. Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Moderna, continues after this.
I mean, you always want the ball, but the end of the first half, was that the play?
We had something on where we could learn, we could run it. And we changed it to a run, and they made a play. I got to do a better job getting an end zone there. Where we got to find a way to come up with points there. But I'll put that on me. The ball was in my hands on that play, and I got to find a way to score there.
Did you know, in terms of clock, that when you didn't get in, that you guys were in trouble?
Yeah, they did a good job of holding me down, like staying on top. They know the situation. They knew the situation. So, yeah, that's what it was.
Did you 24 carries? Did you think that would over/under on that was going to be under?
I didn't know. I wish that I got off to a better start. I did feel the rust a little bit. Not playing 3 weeks. I feel like I was too out of my cuts. Slipping a little bit, but I feel like I kind of found myself towards the end of the game. But just got to keep improving, keep getting this thing healthy, and keep getting stronger so I can be out there for my team and try to help us win games.
Were you hoping to get the ball in that last play? I mean, it's just kind of strange that 1 yard again at the end of the game, just like it was the first half.
Yeah. I mean, as a competitor and anyone who knows me, I would love the ball in that situation. It's on me. If I don't get it, I don't get it. If I get it, I get it. I feel like that's how you should be. That's the mindset that you should have. But at the end of the day, we have coaches for a reason. They had a play call that we thought was going to work, and it's NFL. The Bills made a play.
Did you give you that play in the back?
Which one?
The last play.
No, I was blocking.
Saquon, there were a couple of big runs that you had. Almost, I think maybe you might have broken. That you could have gone for big. Was that frustrating, thinking that maybe you could have taken it the distance on 1 or 2 of those?
No, only one that I felt like I could have scored on. Really, I know, my rookie year, I had a lot of those, and that's what everyone expects. But it's rare to score long in end zone, long runs like that. Everything got timed up perfectly. We had opportunities, we made big plays. The one that I wish I can get back is the outside zone that I had on the corner. I can't make any excuses. I just got to get in better shape. I know I've been out a little bit, got to be in better shape so I can make a play there on the corner.
That sound from Saquon Barkley right there. He had 24 rushing attempts for 93 yards with a 34-yard long right there. We heard from Darren Waller earlier in the show who mentioned how great it was to have him back. It's always great to have a captain back on your offense, but it's also always great to have a familiar face returning to the field. And one guy that we saw who introduced himself on Sunday Night Football as Justin Pugh, straight off the couch. This man gets out there after just a couple days after his first padded practice. He starts at left guard and then, of course, has to slide over to left tackle after Joshua Ezeudu leaves with a toe injury early in the game. And he was, part of the reason that Saquon was able to break off some of those big runs.
Yeah, big time. He started off as the entire offense did, a little rusty to start the football game. But once he got settled in, once he was able to get his bearings, he's just coming up off the couch. He's trying to figure things out on this football team, trying to figure out what this football team's makeup is and how he fits into it. I played with Justin Pugh. He's a heck of a person, a great player, and a guy in that locker room that they can use and need to kind of keep those young guys intact and keep that O-line kind of together as much as possible, given some injuries and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just felt like the Giants made so many progress steps forward. Mm-hmm. There was so much progress, so much more promise, but there are areas to improve upon. Just like you said earlier, 0 of 5 inside the red zone. More importantly, 0 of 3 inside with goal-to-go situations. Mm-hmm. Converse that to the Buffalo Bills, 1 of 1 inside with goal-to-go. and 2 of 2 in the red zone. So that's just the game right there. Yeah. Moving the ball wasn't an issue. Controlling the ball wasn't an issue. Third down wasn't an issue. Now we can focus in on the red zone and keep everything else the same. We'll win some games.
And the Bills didn't even get into the red zone until the second half of this game. All right, Giants fans, make sure you check out the Eli Manning Show presented by Panini Prism Trading Cards. All you have to do is subscribe to the Giants YouTube channel to catch all of the new shows. It's the Eli Manning Show. Subscribe today. We've got much more to come here on Giants Postgame Live presented by Moderna. Stay with us. Madelyn, Burke, Victor Cruz, Amani, Toomer back after this. Welcome back to Giants Postgame Live. As we turn the page on Week 6, we look ahead to Week 7. The Giants are back at MetLife Stadium hosting the Commanders Sunday, October 22nd at 1 p.m. Of course, it'll be a legacy game, too, with lots of throwbacks, not just the jerseys, the in-stadium entertainment, all that good stuff. As we welcome you back to the studio, Madelyn, Burke, Victor Cruz, and Amani, Toomer. This is just the second division game for the Giants this season. It'll come in Week 7. What are your early thoughts on this matchup?
Yeah, just thinking about the quarterback situation, right? Sam Howell for the Commanders, good young quarterback, a rookie, can be making some big plays down there, doing some positive things for that football team. Obviously, McLaurin, Curtis Samuel on the receiver standpoint. Can we keep them bottled up and do the same things that we've done tonight and hold them and restrain them as much as possible? But they have a good running game as well. And you know they're going to be coached well under Ron Rivera, so you want to make sure that you're prepared for this football team and don't take anyone lightly in this league. And they shouldn't, because it's a division game, one that we need if we want to have any hope to continue down the right path and be in contention down the stretch in the season.
Yeah, and Eric Bieniemy has this offense going really well in terms of the creativity. I saw him today. Sam Howell had 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and it's just he's going to be somebody that we're going to have to deal with in terms of with his efficiency, because that's what he's proven throughout this year. He's been very efficient with the football. Not going to give anything away to the Giants, and we're going to have to play similar to today, very close to the vest, making sure that the Giants force the other team to make the mistakes, not the Giants making the mistakes, if we have any chance of winning. Right, exactly. Try to keep it a clean game. And, of course, we heard this last year at the end of last season. The priority is closing the talent gap, especially in the division. It's been since Week 1 since the Giants have had a division test. This is an important one. And it's one that always holds a little bit of weight, right? And I repeat, division game. Nothing else matters. Division game, need all of them. But you know what? We'll be here after that one, just like we are every week for Giants Postgame Live, presented by Moderna. For Amani, Toomer, and Victor Cruz, I'm Madelyn Burke. Thanks for hanging with us. We'll see you next week.